Who's talking? Me or Cass?
Oh my word! I swear down, Mo, you just killed the intro just from doing that. You could have typed it. You could have done anything. Now we're gonna have to improvise.
What the hell just happened there?
You know what he did? It's because he became American today. He thinks he's better than all of us.
Did you actually just start a show? Hold on. Did you just actually start a show live? Who's talking?
I really? Yes, it's gonna say so.
Wow, you could have literally.
I'm on a 3 hours sleep.
It's me. I'm talking. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Never a Foul. Hope everyone's doing well.
Wow.
You know, it's a nice sunny day here in the UK today, so I hope everyone's had a fantastic day. It's still sunny outside here. It's actually still very light outside in Durham. So so let's hope everyone's in the comments. Get your comments in now because we've got a lot to talk about on the show today. So yeah.
So what are we talking about, Kendall? What are we talking about?
We are talking about the biggest club in the world, signing one of the most talented footballers in the world, Newcastle United.
Who are Luton getting then?
So, you know, we are talking about that today. I don't know what else we're talking about because this is not my show, despite the fact I've literally just spoke for a minute and a half like it's my show. But yeah, I'm sure we will find something to talk about. But congrats more on your Americanization? What do you even call it?
Americanization.
What do you even call it? American citizenship. Citizenship. That's what I was going to say. Yeah, naturalization. Mo's got the green card, everyone. So, congratulations.
He needs something to celebrate, doesn't he?
Yeah, man. Can't even run a show.
I imagine that.
Literally, people. We already got 100 people, and we need the likes to go up. People, I'm gonna start again. There's 100 of you almost here, and we're not even on 50 likes. So please hit that like button. I just became American today. I swore an oath and did all the work for it.
An oath.
Hold on, what work did you have to do for it?
I had to study hard for the test.
Hold on, what did you have to study? Really?
I had to study very hard.
But like what? You have to study stuff like, are you allowed to hold guns? Yes or no?
Yes, of course. It's like it literally says that. Are you gonna bear arms in the name of the United States? You have to answer yes. It's you have to answer.
Me,
yes.
I'll be like, absolutely not. You have to answer yes.
You have to answer it. Like it's a couple of questions, and I was asked that question twice before I swear today and in the test.
So does it say stuff like, will you take part in the annual purge?
Something similar. If you were asked, like a militia, something like this. If you're asked to defend your county, something like this. So yes, you have to actually say that you are willing to bear arms on behalf of the United States.
I swear to God,
which means exactly if there is a war here and you're asked to like create a militia or something, you need to answer and you need to actually have. Anyways, Rams is here with us, but let's start with Barella talk to Newcastle. 50 million pounds.
So you lost. Number one, firstly, you lost the Champions League final, and now you're about to lose your prize asset. Mad.
Yes, mad.
Crazy.
So I went to the Italian. So just to be honest, I actually freaked out when I saw this from the Telegraph because they're mostly reliable most of the times. But I went to some Italian guys and I asked them, and they got like the Italian media, La Gazzetta dello Sport and all that. They said that actually nobody spoke to the agent of the guy. Nobody actually spoke to the agent of the guy. They're gonna only talk about his future from like after the national team, which is they play the semi-final of the Nations League tomorrow. Italy play tomorrow. I don't think 50 million is the money for him, because if they rejected Onana 50 million, they're not going to sell Barella, the Italian guy, the most valuable guy, for 60 million. I don't think it's going to happen. I think to sit at the table, I think Newcastle will have to come up with 80 million, but based on the reports we're hearing, their budget is just 80 million. They're not going to just blow that all of it on one player. However, that opens the door for other clubs like Chelsea, clubs like Manchester United, that they can actually go. Because when you talk about, and we talked about Valverde, when a club says that we'll listen to offers, that means they can sit at the table. That means there is a price. You just have to come up with the right price. It's like when Lukaku was sold to Chelsea for 105, Chelsea presented an offer that is You cannot reject it. So we had to sell Lukaku. It's as simple as that.
So basically, what you kind of just said is,
wait a minute,
fake news. You called the Telegraph liars.
Yeah.
And also that there's no talk because they're going to find out more tomorrow. That's what he said.
Yes. Because he's with the national team and his agent didn't even meet with Inter.
Is that what?
No, but hold on a second. Hold on a second. I swear the report is that Newcastle have opened up talks with Inter. There's no conversation about Newcastle opening up talks with him or Newcastle opening up talks with his agent or Inter opening up talks with his agent. The paper said Newcastle have opened up talks with Inter. So his agent's got nothing to do with it.
Yeah, I don't know, man, because Kendall, I don't know if you've seen this, and I'm pretty sure you have, but apparently you have around 75 million in budget.
Yeah, it's BS. It's BS. It's just complete BS. Our club at the minute, since we got took over, really, the leaks have been like this. Every single signing we've done has been done within a day.
Cass knows about leaks.
Being leaked.
Cass knows a lot about leaks.
Like literally, and the only one that actually dragged on was Trippier, and that was only because
why are you laughing,
like Howe and Simeone have a good relationship, so that was the only reason that got leaked, because he kind of said that he was going to Newcastle anyway. But there's been like loads of mixed stuff today. So when that report came out, the only reason I was like, oh shit, actually this might have legs, is because Luke Edwards, who was like a core. What's the word? It was Mike McGrath, but it was like with Luke Edwards, and he's like the he's the northern correspondent for the Telegraph, but he is very negative. Like he'll constantly just shut things down straight away. Like he'll always be negative. He's always pessimistic, and he's always reporting badly about the club. Like if like Isaac, for example, when we were in for him, he was like, that's never happening. It's literally never happening. That's never. And then the next day it was done. So he's very like negative, and the fact that he's actually put his weight behind this to say it's happening is very weird to me, because he never does that. Like that's just strange. So I actually think there is some legs to it. Whether what they are, I don't know. I just think we've approached the club and said, not said, and I think kind of 50 million is where we're starting, and we're expecting to pay more. That's where I'm at with it at the moment.
But you know what? The other thing though I'd say is
no way.
Right. If we sit and think about this, do we think that what has made Newcastle go, I know, let's approach Inter for Barella? Well, of all the people, what has made Newcastle go Barella? And
I don't know, because that was so out of the blue today. Like it's not even being linked at all.
I would say that someone somewhere must have put the feelers out there into the world of transfers or into agents that look, usually if something like this happens, it's two things. Either Barella wants a new contract and wants to negotiate a new contract, or secondly, Inter or Barella want to part ways. Otherwise, why would it come out there? There's no reason for Newcastle to just, go, oh, let's, or a paper to go, who shall we create a narrative about? I know. Let's create a narrative that Newcastle are going to buy Barella. It's just not one that anyone would come up with out of nowhere. There's no smoke without fire.
That's a weird one. That is a weird one, that's because if they go get Barella, that means Bruno Gomes is looked at the future DM and not the 8 and going. I thought they'll go get an 8 and then a DM potentially, right? But if they get Barella, but in the same breath, they mention Maddison as well, which are leading a race for roughly about, again, the same sort of price, 50 million.
Also, the 75 million thing, that's what I was getting onto earlier. It's just rubbish, because the club kind of just they've done this the last few windows. They've fed information at the journals like that are close to the club. That's actually false. It's just so fans don't get excited. Like we don't get ahead of ourselves with like expecting to spend 150 million, because I think we will. It's just they don't want that to happen, because they just don't want. They want the expectations same minimum. They said 50 million in the summer. We spent 63 on Isaac, so it's like obviously that's not the case. They said really similar. And another thing with the Italian media saying it hasn't happened, they did that with Sven Botman, because he was like basically going to go to AC Milan, and every single Italian outlet was like, he's not got Newcastle. Maldini really wants him. He's going to AC Milan. He actually loathes the thought of going to Newcastle. That was one journalist. And then we ended up signing him. So I don't even know what I think about it, to be honest. But the fact that I don't think it happens to me personally, but the fact that we're even linked with someone like Barella is like insane to me. Like we've got Jeff Hendrick at the club. Like no, Jeff Hendrick, nah. So the fact that we're even linked to Barella, or we even like are in the talks with Barella, like is insane to me. Like genuinely mad.
So here is what happened. reading Calcio Mercato from Italy, and this is exactly what happened. I think you're right, Daps. There is what do you say about the smoke? It's
there's no smoke.
Ozil's trip to London to meet with Chelsea. I think someone saw him meeting with other people. So they assume that the talk is about Barella.
Sorry, whoa. So his
he's
agent
in London
is in
talking
Chelsea.
He's not. No, Ozilio is the Inter representative. The transfer.
Yeah.
He's not. So he's exactly what it says. Barella will speak to the Nerazzurri manager, which is Mancini, about his future. Okay, his agent has not listened to any offers, and in particular, has never spoken to Newcastle. Inter will not consider him transferable for £50 million.
But let's be honest, it's not like his agent's going to come out, right, Roms, and say, yeah, by the way, I'll be speaking to other clubs about you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's not going to happen now, is it? Especially after a day. His agent probably don't even know about it. You know, he said a 75 million thing, which is kind of interesting. It was Craig Hope. And does he not write about teams like Newcastle and that? That's his whole range, right? Craig Hope from the Daily Mail. So
yeah, but Craig Hope is literally, we always call him No Hope because he's another one. Puts the literal dampeners on everything. Like something will happen, someone will like tweet something, and literally 5 minutes later he's there with like, just to say that this is not happening like all the time. It's actually tragic. Although I'm literally just reading his tweet there, which was 30 minutes ago, saying Newcastle this is Craig Hope. Newcastle having early talks over move for Inter midfielder Nicola Barella. Sources say it will be a difficult deal to do, but confirm he is the target that they are pursuing.
I think you're also right though with what you said about the price and kind of you were saying about the fans not getting the hopes up. But the other thing is that you've got to remember everyone knows Newcastle have got mega rich owners, and the one thing is I know from, and it's taken us years and years to shake it off, is you don't want to get this this whole persona with other clubs that you'll pay whatever. So
just ask Kaz about that.
You will be trying to do the 50 million, and if you end up having to pay more, you're fine. But you'd rather negotiate up than instantly clubs be going, right, we want 150 million off of you for this one, just because of the fact you're Newcastle. And I think that's one of the things I think Newcastle have learned off of City. That and like one thing we do now all the time is we love a release clause, like because we don't want, if you're in a bidding war, that's not good for the club. It's not good press being in a bidding war because ultimately, if you lose it, that's bad press for the club. So that's why City have always, and it's mainly the Spanish board members, they love a release clause because it means you can go in there, drop the release clause, get the player and out. And there's no bidding wars, there's no back and forth, there's no negative press. I think Newcastle will have learned from City about the whole thing around negative press, of being involved in long, drawn out, mega deals. And I think that's probably it. I don't know, man. It's
about Barella. I wanted to add about Barella. I think they might be thinking about selling him. I was just talking with the Interspace guys, and I think, from what I'm understanding, is that the market cannot be open for Inter until they sell somebody, and they have to fill 7 places. So the only 2 assets that we have that we might sell and get 3 players instead are Barella and Lautaro Martinez. These are the only players that we can sell and get like mega money for them. And because Sergio Milinkovic-Savic from Lazio is valued now at 35 million euros only, which is 30 million pounds, we can actually sell Barella for about 80 million pounds.
Wait,
and I
no,
don't think
you've got 3 assets. You've got 3 assets, Onana as well.
Apart from Onana, who's actually, they said he's not for sale, and Chelsea said we cannot pay you what you want. And nobody's going to pay what we want for Onana.
That's why the Kepa news came out.
Fabrizio Romano already said that. He said that they are priced out. So Onana's out. The 2 players that we can sell realistically are Barella and Lautaro. I don't think they get selling Lautaro because we actually have 1 forward. But because of Milinkovic-Savic is available now for half of Barella's price or less. So they can replace him. And there is a player called Fratesi. I think Cass knows about him. Fratesi of Sassuolo is a quick kid. Plays in the national team.
Can I just address something? 2 things. Firstly, HM, you saying Daps City bought Robinho Adebayor. Stop waffling about learning from City. You absolute fucking dunce, yeah? That's what they're doing. They're learning from the players that we bought and the shit fucking reports that we had about our club. Don't do it like Manchester City did it when we first started, yeah? That is exactly what I mean. And for someone else that said City have just won a treble and there's nothing on the wall behind me to say that I'm a City fan. Am I a real City fan? Because there's nothing on the wall behind me that says we won a Champions League. Sorry, if you're one of those people that rushes out and buys memorabilia when you've won something, no problem. I've got a lot of memories in my head, so yeah.
Yeah, I can't lie, but you guys that just well, if you got told to F off or not, please like the video if you haven't done
please,
so.
you dunce, like the video, you fucking dunce. Sorry.
Yeah, like the video if you haven't done so yet, man. Big up everyone that's just
Did you say done so or dunce so?
Like the video. So
Dunce? I don't even think I've ever said that word in my
like
life,
the
to be
video. So,
honest.
You never heard the term dunce before?
I have heard dunce,
Yeah,
but
I have it.
I don't think
It's
I've
old
ever
one.
said it.
My
Like,
mum
I've
says
never
it
called
to me all
anyone
the
dunce.
time.
Shows with like with Kindle that gets like diverted into like weird things, like just.
I know, it's not my fault. It wasn't even me that said it.
Yeah.
Don't blame
but
me.
for some reason, you're the common factor.
Thanks so cheers.
Like we talked, you remember the accents show? I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, can we go back to the
Yeah,
transfer market now?
Roms, like if you think Newcastle are going to be getting it, don't you think someone like Liverpool who want to send him in, if it is around 55 million, would be looking at the guy and
This brings on to my point. I was when this came out today that Barella linked to him, I was fuming. Say it again.
Got me hot, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Cass was walking around the house kicking off.
Early on Monster Street, me and Mons were going mad because it's like, if this, I never really believed the 50 million quote's true. I always know if Barella leaves Inter, it will not be 50 million. But if that quote was true, I'm fuming because FSG will actually give Klopp the funds for that signing. They actually would, and it'll be on Klopp to put the pressure on them to go forward with it. But I think if Newcastle get Barella for that sum, for me it would already be sign of the summer. He improves every top 16, even City, because if Bernardo and Gundogan do leave, he walks straight into the City team. So
that's the thing. Cass actually said to me earlier on. He said, "Daps, if like he was saying, if Barella really is up for sale, then every club, because Liverpool should probably be dropping all the people you're pursuing." United definitely need him. Chelsea need anyone. Arsenal again. Arsenal could need him. And then he said for City as well. And do
you know what makes me think though? Like, what if like I know this is like stupid, and obviously very like in Milan, obviously there's a lot of Serie A teams like who are in a lot of financial difficulty moments, similar to La Liga. Like, what if like there's behind the thing like scenes going on where we're like, oh look, we'll just put like, we'll give you this money, give you that money. Yeah. Like, that's why we're like at the forefront, because we're like, we'll just send you some brown envelopes. It's fine.
I will take Joe Linton and Jacob, not Jacob, the other Willock, plus 40 million for him.
I can't lie, man.
I can't use no, don't. That's like
actually is that a
child.
Hold on. How about some Maximum in the mixer?
That would be
he was very,
you know what the problem is, Daps? We were talking about it. The likes of Sam Maximum and Chiesa, because Inter don't play with wingers, like actual wingers, he's not going to find a place on the team. Where is he going to play? But I want to really talk about one thing. When he was linked to Newcastle, all I can think about is that imagine he's for sale and everybody has money, like Liverpool out of the race, Arsenal, Chelsea, Newcastle. I'm not talking about and Man United out of the question.
Why would Arsenal be in the race? They want Havertz. They got that guy.
No, seriously. What is the most attractive project for someone like Barella to leave Italy
Man United
and go play
right now? Or
this is why I said excluding Man United and Man City, because Man City will be Man City. He will literally go to Man City, like said, I'm gonna go play for Pep Guardiola and Man City. Yeah. But do we think Man United, because of all the heritage, do you think that between Newcastle, Arsenal, and Chelsea, where would he go, and why would he choose that club?
In my opinion, I think the most attractive projects would either be Liverpool or Man United out of all of them, or obviously Man City, because they're the winners. You don't want to go to winners, right? But
why wouldn't Arsenal be exciting?
Because because Newcastle, don't get me wrong, no disrespect to Newcastle. Newcastle is an exciting project, but they're up and coming, right? And you never know.
Do you know what the most exciting project is? Do you know what the most exciting project is? The most exciting project is how the manager puts it to you and the relationship you have with the manager and how much you believe the manager. If the manager can sell a project to you, then that is the most exciting project. and it's literally down to the job of the manager to sell the project to the player.
All right, thanks for that role, Daps. But I was talking about the club itself. Why I say Man United,
Oh,
right?
so big club, right?
No,
okay, cool.
no, because it's not about what the manager. Of course, it's down to the manager. That's always a part. But if
It's about potential owners, not owners that are there yet. Okay, cool.
No one said that. Daps, man. Stop buying at everything.
I'm not biting. You are. I'm just. Come on.
Not a fishing rod.
Our shows have become really entertaining.
Anyways,
like,
I was going along.
Very entertaining.
Why would it be Arsenal? Because they're getting Declan Rice for that 8 year, and now they could think of but we could put Declan Rice in the
6.
He's not a DM, man. He's been bought for that Shaka role. Let's be honest.
But he played a 6 for the England.
Anyways, let me keep going. I don't think Arsenal will look at him. Why I say Man City is because 2 centre mids, great ones, potentially leaving, or right wings, whatever the way you want to look at it. Gundo, whatever. He's a perfect replacement for me for Gundo. I think they're quite similar the way they can play. I think there's Liverpool. There's Klopp. Fired, like the way they press is similar to how Barella presses in segments with Inter Milan, and he could be the advanced 8. And why I say Man United is because there's a gaping hole, literally in between Casemiro and Bruno as the link.
Yeah,
it's just the biggest. I think. Well, I said
but what about the project? You didn't answer the question.
Sorry, but how is
you didn't answer the question.
How is
what is the project? You
literally
mentioned his rule here, his rule there. What about a club? Like who has?
Liverpool want to be back to the best. Of course, they want to be back to the best. And that's why I say the project has to be, as Daps said.
The United project's the worst
Liverpool
one.
aren't even a project though. They're literally just there. Like they're just
Man United.
Man United is Cass. Respectfully, Cass. In 5 days' time, Cass. In 2 days' time, in 5 days' time, in 10 days' time, Man United, I agree with you, could be the most exciting project. But like I said to you earlier on,
it would be.
The problem is that they could be because you don't know factually that your owners will be the Qataris yet. Yeah. So right now, he can't be promised nothing. Yeah, that's the truth. And I said to you earlier on that if Newcastle move quickly or whoever going for him move quickly, no matter how much Man United want him, because even if they take over, it's going to take a period of time.
My only worry is that
a period of time for you to have everything in place to be able to even get involved in the conversation.
My only worry is that we get priced out of these deals, if other clubs come in, because obviously our wage structure is still very relatively low. I think we're offering Bruno a new contract, which is fair enough, but still compared to the other teams, we would never be able to offer 250 grand a week. It's just not what we would do at this current time. I don't know whether that'll change or whether obviously with this new Bruno contract and stuff that'll start building up. I don't know, but at this moment in time, I highly doubt. Well, yeah, but it's still relatively low compared to the rest of the big six, if you will. We're seventh in terms of value.
That's a lot of money.
You need that player to break that barrier. Maybe he could be the player.
That's what I mean. There might be a player who breaks it. But all I need to do is whoever sold the project. Whoever sold the project to Bruno when we were 19th in the league to get Bruno Mahrez to Newcastle, I need that person to sell this exact same project to the likes of Barella, to the likes of whoever, because it is a little bit easier for us now. But
Barella will look at Newcastle and think this is very exciting. They have money, they have Saudi owners, and he's looking at Man City. He just lost to Man City, the Emirati guys, and he's like, maybe Newcastle is the one, and he's 26. So
nice
he's
age.
Still
perfect
so
age.
I think he's gonna. I think if I would choose, yes, Arsenal. Yes, Arsenal might be the challenge for the league, but if he's looking at Newcastle and they are doing these deals, they're getting the Barellas, they're like, okay, that means they are serious. Yeah. He's gonna look at it and say, if I'm a center of this project, I might not. I might choose.
It'll be a massive.
Now, Man United for me, Man United is out of the because if Man United asks for Barella, below Man City is Man United, because City are successful now. Because if he goes and plays next to the Casemiro and Bruno under Ten Hag, I think he would go there. He would definitely choose, but I don't think Man United are in for him just because he's Italian. I think they would still pursue Mason Mount, even though Chelsea are going to be forced to sell lower. Chelsea are going to be forced to sell lower soon.
But would you not say, right, so let's look at this. Would you not say that right now, if we're being honest, the Mount, and especially trying to get Mount at a certain price, that is a Glazer move,
No?
It doesn't look like it.
It doesn't look like it. It's so beta.
The Mount thing's died down a bit, hasn't it? Does that worry you a bit?
No, it's a Ten Hag move.
You know what? You know what?
Ten
The,
Hag
you know what the maddest thing is? You all keep saying Glazers, bro. Glazers have stopped with the dividends and everything. They got nothing. They got nothing going on with the club no more. It's all stopped since January. Do
Okay,
you not know?
all right, no, so
It's-
no, I don't know because it's your club. I've already told you I don't really care about your club. But
It's a club
who?
thing. It's a whole quota thing, isn't it?
So
It's
who's
paid.
doing the deals? Who's?
Oh, the board, isn't it? The board has to
Right,
still
so the
continue.
board
It's not
and the board is spending. So at the moment, right? Let me ask you another question. Maybe I didn't word that right. Do you think Mason Mount would be a Qatar backed? If Qatar are really about to be there, do you think that would be a Qatar move to go for Mason Mount?
I think it's just a home quota. I think it's a home quota thing. I think it's quite obvious now. And if Chelsea want this 70 million or 65 million that they want, there's going to be other targets to go towards. And if you're telling me you're going to pay 55 million, but you can't fork out 15 odd million to go get your Barella or Caicedo or something.
I think
Crazy,
right?
right?
Can I ask you a question?
He doesn't go for 50, no way.
Nah,
Yeah,
not a chance. But saying that, right, Roms, this one for you. Why did McAllister go for such a low price? What is the reasoning behind that?
Because there was a release clause and we met it.
Oh, it's a release clause.
But it wasn't a basic release clause. It was a facilitation clause. So
they agreed the deal in January.
Yeah,
right?
they had a deal, and Brighton could they were like kind of the spearheads of the deal, and they could choose the deal to agree with the opposing club. So
okay. So
one second. Quick one. I heavy TSA. I've never seen your name in it. Yeah, don't use that language in this chat. Hey, mods will boot you off so quick, and you go find another place, mate. For whoever you're talking about, by the way, you can say whatever you want. Don't say shut up to the panel. But then, what kind of show is there if you're going to say shut up? You want to be quiet?
She'll be quiet.
Everyone's getting agitated, isn't it?
No, it's not that. It's just that people need to learn that this ain't that sort of chat. I keep telling people as well.
Oh, is he telling me to? Is he telling me to shut up?
He's telling.
Oh yeah, you probably
telling the whole panel, of course.
Yeah, he's telling probably the whole
heavy
panel,
TSA. Yeah, if City fans entitled, not me, mate. Definitely not entitled. But anyway,
You don't use that
nice to
language,
be here. You absolute fucking dunce. Go and sit in the corner with a hat. Smash a like on the way.
Okay. So let's do a couple of these super chats. Number one is King Juice is saying, big up to the panel. Daps, congrats on the triple. I concede your manager is the GOAT. United need Barella and Caicedo with Casemiro. That's not happening. Kaz and Mo, how realistic is this situation? I'm gonna let Kaz answer this.
Oh, he's talking to the chat. My apologies. Don't go and sit in the corner. Take that off. Please smash a like.
He was talking to the chat.
My bad.
Anyway,
how realistic is the situation with
Barella and Caicedo? Like
Never.
2 minutes. It's not gonna happen.
No, I thought if Man United need to go for one, the more realistic acquisition I would say is currently Caicedo. If Mount is not to be, and then I can't see it being both of them. It's there's no chance. We'll probably go get someone cheap like Amrabat, or it just depends on what player and what profile.
Yeah, you wouldn't be mad with Amrabat though, would you?
Yeah.
No, but what I'm trying to say is someone around that price, just someone in that price margin. I just can't see it. You can't be too greedy, and
I think you'd be well happy with Amrabat, wouldn't you?
You know, it's because Man United need two strikers. You know, you're gonna have to fork out some money for strikers. And
No, you got Greenwood.
If you sell Martial, okay.
They've got Greenwood though. They've got Greenwood back.
Thanks for that.
Okay, the next super chat is Red John. Thanks for the super chat. Appreciate it. He said, FYI, guys, my wife has moved out. So tomorrow, my lawyer and I will meet up together with my neighbor who has the evidence of her affair. I wish this was all a lie, but the divorce is happening, guys. Okay.
Right, sorry, I'm not laughing, John. Honestly, I'm not laughing, right?
No, you have no idea. Like, Red John.
I just wasn't expecting that.
Has been super
Red John, listen, Red John, I hope you're
sorry.
right. Red John, I hope you're right.
Yeah,
and
thanks for the support and thanks for watching.
No. Red John, real talk. I hope you're all right. And yeah, man, stay strong and reach out to anyone if that is a true story. Then condolences and whatever.
Chloe Jenkins is saying Inter have stated in the last couple of hours they have no intention of selling Barella. I've not seen that, but yeah. Maybe. I don't know. He's still with the national team, so they didn't even talk. So how are Inter going to speak on behalf of the player? Like, it's not going to happen. Red John again. So now I got to go to bed. I need to wake up early later on. Just before I go, Newcastle, please buy Cancelo.
Yeah.
No thanks.
Yeah.
Why not? He's gonna add to your team. He's fantastic.
I actually used to quite like.
That's
Hansel,
why you lot sold him as well.
No, I actually used to quite like him, but then all the Man City fans are against him, and I was just a bit like, oh, maybe he's not great. Maybe he's not maybe he's not the person he wants. So then that's why I've gone against him, just purely off the fact that Man City fans don't like him. Like literally no other reason other than that.
Defensively, it's
not Arsenal fans don't even like him as well now.
So now, great. Let's go to Arsenal. Kai Havertz, apparently 40 million or something.
You see that fan base, right? You see with Kai Havertz, I've said this still only makes sense if they get Rice and Caicedo over the line. If they only get one and then they want to prioritize Kai Havertz, for me this is absurd. I'm a guy who rates him. I don't know what the panel thinks, but I've always rated Kai Havertz. I know he's not quite at Chelsea.
You rated him at Chelsea or you rated him before that?
Before, even at Leverkusen. I'm not gonna act like I watched loads of Leverkusen, but from what I saw, I liked him as a player. I've always thought he was a good technician and whatnot. But what I don't get with Arsenal fans is if you've gone on Twitter or socials today, they're hating this. They're disgusted with it. They're calling him X, Y, Z. But what I don't get is the season just gone. Some of their fans kept screaming, "We got a thin squad. We got a thin squad." Now we know Kai Havertz, even for the money that's quoted, he will not come into that team and start. Again, if they sign Rice and Caicedo, he is not starting. So what does that leave you? Strength and depth. That leaves you quality on the bench. They were crying last season that they had a thin squad. I'm just telling them to calm down because if you do get this signing, along with Rice and Caicedo, I think this is a great signing. Yeah, you can say, 50, 60 million to sit on the bench, but in the modern day market, that's a bargain.
Can they get a better player for 60, 70? Can they get a better forward for 60, 70? I'm sure they can.
You can, but wait.
I think that's a lazy bid. They just went to the neighbors and said, "Oh yeah, we'll get him."
Do you rate him, Mo? Do you rate the player?
I used to.
Wait, man, Mo's talking like they went next door and said, "Have you got some milk we can borrow?"
I thought it's a freaking lazy. It's a lazy acquisition.
I need a cup of tea.
I'm not even joking. I've been crying. I just didn't want to put it on camera. That was funny as shit, man.
No, but seriously, I used to rate him 4 years ago when he used to be at Leverkusen. Right now, he is not worth the money. They should go and invest the 60 million somewhere else. I
don't understand. Yeah, Mason Mount, right? I thought Mason Mount. Mason Mount was the man to deal with the window, and I saw that Arsenal.
Oh, but we're acting like Kai Havertz is a bum. He's not a bum.
Arsenal prepared to pay 60 million for this guy.
Wait, he'll come out there after Loftus Cheek soon.
Has this guy even got 10 goals in the Premier League? Oh my word, that's
it doesn't make any sense. I'm being serious. They have been crying for a striker that can score goals because freaking Jesus cannot score goals. Mute yourself. Can you mute yourself?
And they go again. Nah, leave him on. It's great.
Like seriously, like they're crying. Jesus, false 9, cannot score goals. We need a striker to score goals. And then they go get Kai Havertz.
He won't play there though. They'll try and
play him. Where
is
he going to play? What do you mean? What is he going to play?
They will generally try and play him as an 8. They will not try and play him false 9, in my opinion.
You're not serious. You're not serious, are you?
I'm being serious because ESR and Vieira.
What do you mean they're gonna play him? I'm telling you, bro. They get in Rice and they have Odegaard. They cannot play Kai Havertz and Odegaard on the same pitch. They're gonna be wide open.
I don't think he's coming in to play false 9 at all.
But you're not making sense, Roms. You cannot have Odegaard and Havertz on the pitch together.
I'm not saying,
but they need depth.
But that's what I'm saying, Mo. Yeah. You didn't listen to what I said at first. He's not coming in to start. I think if they sign Rice and Caicedo, it will be Odegaard with them. But Havertz will come in the last 10 or 20 minutes.
Can I challenge you realistically? Do Arsenal in the place to spend 60 million on a depth player? Even Man City aren't in liberty to spend 60 to 80 million on a depth player. Look at Man City fans being so upset that Calvin Phillips cannot be one of the guys that rotate. Being a depth player, you go for 30 million. You don't go for 60 million rated player for a depth in the squad. That doesn't happen. It's not Arsenal. They're not that club.
But they're obviously trying to be that club now because they're linked to the 60 million move. And my point is, they were screaming out that they've got a thin squad. They need this quality on the bench. They do. But I agree with you. I think there's better players for 50, 60 million, but they need that quality on the bench.
Okay, guys, get your super chats in. I'm gonna stop at one point and we're gonna address all the super chats. If I address every super chat at every time, we're gonna be deviating from the topics we're talking about.
Look, do you know what?
I want your opinion about freaking Havertz to Arsenal because they challenge you for the league.
Look, I don't rate Havertz at all. Right, I don't rate him, but I do get that. If he is literally just being brought in as a squad player, then it's not a bad signing, and it shows mad intent. What I would say is it's a bit similar to maybe Liverpool in January. Well, December, I think they actually signed him, but in the January transfer window where they only had X amount of money to spend, and they went and bought Gakpo, and they didn't go and buy a DM. Yeah, and it was like, you know what? If you go and buy Gakpo and then went and got Amrabat, it would have been like, all right, we get it. Yeah, but to just go and get Gakpo, it's like, hold on a second. So again with Arsenal, now if Arsenal get Rice, get Caicedo, maybe get another centre back, and get Havertz as a squad player, and also get a striker, then all of a sudden it's like, oh hell yeah, what an amazing window. But I mean, that's a lot of fucking money. It is a lot of money.
But the fact they're prioritizing him first, it's insane to me. But
insane, right?
Well, unless they know this is the one thing that right. Remember the summer where City got Grealish and we didn't get Kane, and everyone said City should have spent that 100 million on getting Kane, right? And that was a false thing because actually we wanted both. It's just Grealish was a simple deal to get done because it was a release clause, right? So if it's a simple deal to get done, you get that done. In the meantime, other people are working on the harder deals, which was the Kane one. So they could know that, do you know what, if we go in and put down, I don't know, 40 million for Havertz, he's going to be done, then that could be why. So
guys, it's about 400 and can I just over 430 of you here, and we're not even on 200 likes. I want the likes to go up at least to 250, please. It's a free content, and the like look like this. It's thumb up underneath your live chat. So please hit that like button. It's easy. It doesn't cost you a penny. Can you talk now?
Well, if you want, we can talk about. We need to get it to 230 charges because if you can get it to 230 charges, apparently they're going to double. Sorry, 230 likes. They're going to double the number of charges that City face. So let's get those likes up, people. Please.
Yeah, get the likes up, man. But I just don't understand. It's just it's by Sado. It's Moises by Sado at this point. So they're using that budget to go and and spend it on Kai Havertz, which I don't understand because the guy can't press. Can't really shoot. He's not even that good of a playmaker. He's good at making shadow runs. But it's just a disappointment, and his attitude on the pitch is
similar to Martial.
Yeah, it's a little bit.
Got a good first touch.
If it don't go your way, I just feel like the way we in the same breath we talk about Jadon Sancho, maybe he's just not good enough for the Premier League. Good player, just not good enough for the Premier League. I think that might be the same thing as Kai Havertz. I just find it hilarious though. It's just I just didn't think he could get worse than Mount, and it did. So we won't be I just don't understand it. He will be playing.
You rate Mount over Havertz?
Oh, 100%, bro. No, 100%. Each day of the week. No one can ever tell me.
Yeah, same here. Actually, I rate Mount over Havertz. Yeah, I agree with you.
But yeah.
Can you talk now, Kendall, or you're okay?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, it was because Kaz started laughing, and when you're not meant to laugh in class, and then the teacher says stop laughing, so then you laugh even more, and then I just started laughing, and when I laugh, I wheeze laugh, so I just was laughing at myself, and then it just got 10 times worse. So I just started laughing at myself, but yeah, I'm fine. But I agree, I rate Mount higher than I'd rather have Mount than Havertz if it was my club.
Because you know what, let me ask you all a question. Right, and I think I've asked this a few days ago or so. Even guys in the comments, and this is going to be crazy because my prediction is that everyone's going to say a different position. What's his best position? What's his best? Yeah, no, everyone. I think I've asked you before.
4-4-2 behind the striker, the second striker. 4-4-2 behind the striker.
Like David Silva used to play behind Aguero a little bit, kind of.
The position that João Felix says is his favourite position.
It's a fourth striker.
And who
Yeah,
plays
some might call it a number 10, to be fair. I think you're right. Yeah, you probably would call it a number 10.
Or he can play in a 3-5-2 as a second striker next to number 9.
Yep, and that's what I was going to say. The place I look towards is, and it's not going to happen, but if Lautaro Martinez was going to go, then maybe Kai Havertz could be a something for Inter Milan. Because there's not many teams that play 2 up front.
Yes,
and that's why I feel like it's hard for him in this day and age.
But he's so priced out of like his actual value cast. That's my problem with Kai Havertz. That Chelsea are really unreasonable. Man United want to pay 40, they want 80 for Mason Mount. Kai Havertz, they went to Real Madrid and said, pay us 60 million pounds. The guy has been flopping for years.
60 million for Kai Havertz is actually disgraceful. Like
exactly right. Like they're unrealistic. Like Chelsea being. I'm not sure if someone is stupid in the club or they are just trying to just get. They think people are idiots.
Do you think someone's actually going to pay that though?
Didn't Fabrizio Romano said that there is a 30 million difference in valuation between what Chelsea wants and what Man United offered? 30 million.
What did they pay for him? 70.
Who?
They paid 60 million pounds, 70 million.
Oh, they paid 60.
For who?
I think for
Shy
Kai.
guy.
Am I wrong?
I think it was 70. I think you were right first time. I think it was
72 million.
Yeah, I thought it was
Pounds
70,
or your
pounds. I think no. Wait, tell a lie. I think it was 75. I think it was 75.
So I don't. For me, hasn't held his value. It's not.
It's
no,
not
held his value.
And that's what I don't get with Chelsea. Like, who do you think you are to be demanding that much?
He's got all he has behind him is the Champions League, isn't it? Like that's all that he's like literally riding on at the moment.
You know what this screams of? Do you remember when Ed Woodward was in charge of Manchester United? Right. Everyone must remember Ed Woodward. How many times could he not?
Oh yes, we do.
Every time he wanted to get rid of a player, how long have Man United fans been screaming of getting out the Deadwood, getting out the Deadwood? This just screams similar to Chelsea currently because they're trying to think that these players are more valuable than they are, and they'd rather keep the valuable asset in a club rather than shift them. It's the same way.
I think he's going to be sold for 45 to 50 because he has 2 years left in his contract, and if they don't sell him this year, he will be just 1 year left. They bought him for 68 million pounds exactly.
But then that's another thing. Hold on. How old is he?
He's 24 only. He has a resale value.
So Gabriel Jesus, and Sterling both went for 45 million each with 2 years. With
2 years left, I think.
With 2 years left.
Yeah, but Gabriel Jesus was a Premier League winner.
Yeah. So is Sterling.
Yes. So this guy is definitely not worth that much money. I'm sorry, this is garbage.
30 M's. 30 M's. That's even being generous.
30 M's. Kindle herself is.
I just think he needs to go abroad to resurge his career. It's as simple as that.
Yeah,
I don't think his career is
like
not.
There is a problem around nobody pays that much money abroad.
True.
Nobody. Anyway, let me do couple of these super chats.
Memphis, do you know what? They're right. Sterling and Jesus both had a year left.
1 year.
They have 1 year left.
And 4 Premier Leagues to their names.
Okay,
yeah.
so
but a year left. It was
Memphis Depay saying, "My brother Mo, I will be fuming if Inter sell Barella for 50 to those prisoners."
Why are we prisoners?
I think it's the black and white stripes.
Okay. Actually,
see, when I think of prison, I think of orange.
No, prisoners are black and white.
Oh, you're so American. You are so American.
You've been watching too many series.
In this country, they're actually beige or really dark blue.
Actually, I think Michael Schofield, he actually might have wore black and white. No, he wore blue.
No, he wore white.
White
t-shirt.
He wore blue. Michael Schofield.
He wore a white t-shirt, no? I just remember.
But it was like blue. It was like darkish blue overalls as well and a white t-shirt.
Someone is picking something.
I think it was
It stopped now. Okay.
It was definitely Kendall, man. She sports Newcastle.
It's not.
Someone is ticking.
I was ticking to him.
Someone keeps doing this, and it's in my. Anyway, second super chat is say Kai Havertz is going to play the Xhaka role.
Yeah, how? With what energy?
What?
No, it's not. It's not happening. It's not happening, guys. I swear to God, this is mad. People just.
I'll tell you, you probably try it.
With Rice and Caicedo behind him and Odegaard.
No,
okay, so what?
You know
how is that? So they're gonna play 4 in the midfield?
This is a FIFA.
No width there. There's no width there at all.
It's not. That's a proper FIFA answer, right? I'm not trying to belittle you or nothing, but you might have got like an upgrade on Kai Havertz and he got better work rate and a little bit more pace. You know what? I'll stick him there. Yeah, you can definitely play there. That's the way I look at it. It sounds like FIFA personally.
Memphis Depay again say they need a proper number 9 before Kai. That's what we're talking about, of course. I'm gonna come to something like Bilal, and I see a lot of Arsenal fans are like tweeting something that is just very strange to me. Mount is 2 times Chelsea Player of the Year. Miles better, yeah, we agree with you. Thanks for the super chat.
Yeah, agree
A
with
lot
that.
of Arsenal fans are willing to drop Gabriel Jesus to the bench if they get a proper number 9. Do you
For me,
guys
that's
remember Arsenal fans talking
What's
about
the problem?
Gabriel
Wait,
Jesus?
one sec. Question. By the way, announcement. Bilal, if you ever watch this, sometimes you do. Because I saw you in the chat before. It's okay to be yourself, you know, man. You don't need to.
No, you haven't seen how it continued my conversation with him earlier on.
Yeah,
I
like,
actually had to
I
play
love Bilal, guys.
I had to
Yeah,
play.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
well, so do we.
I
No,
love
so
that.
do we. That was the conversation. We love Bilal. Like we've done. We like Bilal, but Bilal on Twitter, yeah, is trying to come across as this overconfident, arrogant fan. It's like we don't believe you. You need more people. Like you can come across.
Yeah,
with
you know,
this,
it's
but
Spoon
we
of Souls
don't believe
2.0.
it.
It's Spoon of Souls 2.0, but on camera you're different. But on Twitter, I'm like, bro, like, just be yourself, man.
I
It's
almost
okay.
feel like
It's
he's
okay.
laughing as he's tweeting it because he's trolling, trying to act overconfident. Like literally, I said something like, "It's funny watching all other fan bases
Why are you laughing, bro?
bothered about."
Nah, don't start us off again. I can't
Do
take
that.
this.
Don't do that.
But basically, he told me that I said it's funny watching all other fan bases that are all like basing how they can perform next season on who's signing who and all of this. And I said, whereas City fans, we're now just sat here kind of going, you know what, we trust the board, we trust the manager. And if people go, it's because there's a plan there. Yeah.
100%.
And he said, and then straight away he came back to me and said, Mahrez is leaving, Bernardo's leaving, Gundogan's leaving, Arsenal winning the league next season. And I was just like,
He
go.
said something similar to me when we missed out on top 4. He's like, "Oh, enjoy your days in Europa." I was like, "Cool, you're just entering a competition to just take part." He's like, "We're winning it, Wembley 2024. We are winning it. We're getting our first one." And I was like, "You know what? Fair enough." But then when you stream with him, he's the nicest guy. Like he's not really that.
Okay, a couple of more super chats related. Is the number one is Comdean as well, saying again, Caicedo will play inverted right back like he did at Brighton. So he's gonna drop Ben White then. Now Ben, the greatest fullback that the Premier League
And
ever
you know,
seen.
the reason why that wouldn't even work anyway, because even if you put Caicedo right back, Havertz still wouldn't start because it will be Rice, Partey, and probably Odegaard. So still wouldn't start.
Yeah,
Bilal is
Brown.
not 15, by the way, as well.
Comdean, I'm not sure. Like I don't know. It's kind of like a strange thing.
Caicedo could play that, but yeah, he could definitely play
LJ Brown saying, as an Arsenal fan, I'm rattled like Mo was by Daps and Hussam yesterday. Okay, thank you. Okay, I was rattled yesterday the whole day, to be honest.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, Red John again with another thing. It's sad to see some people were laughing after chat. All I can think of right now is to end my life.
Yeah,
but thanks,
John,
guys. Enjoy.
You know can I just address this very quickly, please? People weren't laughing at you; they were laughing at Kai Havertz and Mount. However, John, listen. I don't know if you're on Instagram or Twitter, but if you're on Instagram or Twitter, MCFC Daps, could you please get me? Yeah, please give me a shout. And please don't waste any more money on super chats with us because we really appreciate your support. But shout me, give me a shout, message me, please, and yeah, let's keep it moving, please, Mo.
Okay. What else we're gonna talk about? I really wanted to talk a little bit about Man City. I'm not sure if
can we talk about Rodri?
No.
Let's all talk about Rodri. Do you want to talk about Rodri, Mo? We can talk about Rodri.
I want to talk about who's gonna leave
Rodri.
The club.
No, oh, okay.
Not Rodri. Get rattled. Like, with you saying Rodri, it's all right.
You right?
Who's leaving from Man City? Is Mahrez going to Saudi Arabia for real? Is that a real thing? Is that a real thing?
I think it is.
I think it's a super team.
I think it's a very real thing, Mo. I think it's. I mean, look, we have to be real. That Mahrez, he didn't play in the Champions League final. He didn't play in the cup final. He's been kind of on and off. No, we're not drinking, by the way. Someone that said that.
Nice. It's orange and lemonade.
Yeah. Oh, orange and lemonade. But yeah, so I think Mahrez, and looking at it where he is now, look, you have to be real with Mahrez. Let's address Mahrez and Gundogan firstly, right? Or no, let's address Mahrez firstly. At his age, if they're offering him a 4-year deal with the type of money they're talking about, with him being a Muslim man, and if Saudi come in for him, he would be an absolute Fruit Loop, yeah? Because everyone can see that his time at City is on the way down, yeah? If someone's now coming in and offering him a 4-year deal worth that much money, for me, it's an absolute no-brainer. The difference with Mahrez is that Mahrez still has a couple of years left on a contract at City, so they also have to pay us some money. So let's see what they offer us. So that's Mahrez. As for Gundogan, I think we spoke on Gundogan the other night. I think of the three, of him, Bernardo, I think Gundogan's probably the most likely to stay.
To stay?
Yeah, I think so.
Why is that?
I would have said Bernardo. From the outside looking in.
No, because look, there's never been rumours of Gundogan wanting to leave, okay? There's been rumours of Bernardo wanting to leave sometime. Gundogan is our captain. I think that, again, the thing with Gundogan is I don't believe he will go to anyone in the Premier League. Apparently his wife likes Barca. And again, Gundogan is also Muslim. And he wants a 3-year deal. City are offering him a 1-year deal with the opportunity to extend it to a 2-year deal, which the opportunity to extend wasn't there before. They've now added that in. And I think them adding that in might be the one. Because what that would then mean is that in a year's time, he can either go on a free or extend. It's up to him. Yeah. So I think that deal could be quite good for him. And I think with City, you have to remember, this isn't just about the player. This is also about how much the club want to keep the player. So with Mahrez, I don't think the club necessarily will be going all out to try and keep Mahrez, yeah. But with Gundogan, because remember, Fernandinho last year was our captain. He's gone. This year, Gundogan's our captain. We probably don't, and he's also come up clutch so many times this year. I think there might be that little bit more effort. Pep's come out and said, Gundogan already knows my thoughts. I want him to stay. Everyone at the club's telling him they want him to stay. So I think there's a chance. Now, with Bernardo is, again, we have to be real. He said he wanted to go last summer. It looks like he might want to go this summer. But again, someone needs to offer us some money. If they offer us the right money and Bernardo wants to go, maybe he'll go. But the one that's nailed on for me, the biggest one, we haven't even said his name, in fact, is Laporte. Laporte will go this summer, 100%. 100%.
Well, it's Ahli that's in for it, not Al Ittihad, by the way. I just clocked. I'm literally looking at it right now as well with Fabrizio Romano, obviously tweeting it alongside others.
Even down to the point when Laporte's been asked about the transfer, Laporte's answered, "I'm not allowed to speak on it." So, or not even I'm not allowed to. He said something like, "I can't speak on that." So I think we're pretty confident Laporte is going to go. But look. Laporte is a very, very good defender. Very good defender. Potentially one of our best defenders. Not as good as Diaz, and Stones, I'm almost classed as a midfielder now. But Laporte, the fact he hasn't been able to get in tells me that there's him and Pep just aren't seeing eye to eye, whether it be his attitude or whatever. And I think Vardiol's a perfect replacement because he looks and seems like someone that's got a very kind of leader winning mentality. So again, I think that's an upgrade. As for the rest of it, I'm interested to see what we get. I've got we must go and get this person. Just I trust the board. It's that simple. The one thing I do know is we're not going to get rid of a load of players without knowing who's replacing them or having a plan of who's going to replace them. So I think the beauty with us at the moment is we can just sit back, relax, and see what happens.
Yeah,
I think, but the one today is Mahrez. For me, Mahrez will go. I can't see any reason why he'd stay. I don't think anyone on this panel could say why he'd stay, apart from his wife and his daughter. They're from a Manchester family. That's probably the only reason you'd say he'd stay. No other reason for him to stay.
Do you see City starting slow next year if you get rid of these 4 players and you replace them with good players, but they still have to be embedded in the system?
No, I see us starting slow even if we keep the players because we start slow every season, Mo.
I want you lot.
We're not going to start. Let me be clear because people will because it happens every single seson. When City start the season off badly, everyone's already setting up for it to go, oh, City aren't looking like the team they were last year. Oh, if we go out and buy, let's say we go out and buy Mbappe, yeah, which we're not going to, but let's say we go out and buy Mbappe. If City don't start off the season well, it will start off with, Mbappe's come in and made City worse. We know it'll all come, yeah? And just be clear, we have the Community Shields. We have Chelsea, by the looks of it, I'm pretty confident we have Chelsea away first game of the season. And then we have the Super Cup, right? Now, straight away I can tell you, Pep's going to have his eyes on that Super Cup, right? So, will we start the season, slow? Yeah. I'm already saying to people...
Wait, that's quickly. Why are you confident you got Chelsea away?
Because I've seen it from a few... So, I've seen two things. One of them had Luton. You know, the fixtures come out
I've seen the Burnley, bro. I've seen the Burnley.
No. Because right. So there's.
But whenever I've seen leaks in the past, the next day is completely different.
So there's one leak that has Luton at home against someone. Yeah. And so straight away I throw out that whole lot because Luton are not starting at home because they're
Luton and Liverpool are both away games, aren't they? First game of the season.
Because of the grounds. But then I've seen another one that has, and it could be wrong, but I've seen it from a few different people, and it's got United have got Luton at home first game of the season. City have got City have got Chelsea away first game of the season, and Arsenal have got Brighton away first game of the season. Now again, we'll see tomorrow, and it could be wrong. But the fact I've seen it a few times makes me think that. But in answer to your question, will City start slowly? Yes. Will I be worried? No. So it's just what we do. There's only one season we've started really on fire, and that was the season when we did Centurions. The rest of them we start slowly. Yeah. So
I hope we get you early in the season then, like we did last season.
I hope you get City away.
You still didn't win. You almost lost the game. You still didn't win. You almost lost that game.
So, you still didn't win.
No, we didn't get you in the beginning of the season.
Us being 3-3 with Man City at that point when we weren't even like as good as we have been towards the end of the season, that was good for us. Like I was buzzing with that.
You think your team was better towards the end of the season than the beginning of the season?
No, it was more structurally better towards the end of the season. The beginning of the season, our results were better, but then the World Cup just messed everything up. But we played better football towards the end, like the back end of the season. But the World Cup ruined our momentum.
We're talking about Liverpool or no? No Liverpool today.
Give me Luton at home. I need it. I deserve it. I love it.
Well, I think you're going to play Brighton the first game. That's what I thought.
When you want us first game, Kaz,
the leagues have said we've got Sheffield United, and that's who I said we will get. So I bet they're right.
Anyway, we'll have to wait and see. But guys, still, we're not on 250 likes. Hit that like button. There's still over 400 of you here. So the like button look like this. Thumbs up. Get it for us. Get us to 250 likes. Please, guys. It's free content. Liverpool. It's gone quiet, Trums. It's gone like, shh. What happened?
That's usually a sign.
Where are the jets? Where are the private jets? Where are the charters?
That's a sign.
That's landing.
You have that. It's your club, but there's a sign in it.
That's what's going to take the words out of my mouth. Normally, when there's a quiet before the storm, turn around on his way. Hopefully, I don't think we'll get Kone. I've said this for weeks. I just think Manu Kone just won't done. I think another club will negotiate quicker and will offer a better fee and Champions League football because he's come out and said he wants Champions League football. But
why is Kone on the way?
Say that again.
How is Kone on the way? You do realize?
I didn't say Kone. I said
Thuram. Why is Thuram on the way? We hold that piece. You do know that, innit, right now? While there's nothing sorted at Manchester United currently with the ownership, you're not getting Thuram yet, mate. You don't understand that. That's why everything's on hold. You ain't getting them anytime soon.
Again, is this one of your sources again? Like the McAllister one?
No, because no, it's not.
Do you not remember the McAllister one? I can't say anything. Nothing's confirmed.
Anyway.
The best part about that, is I didn't even throw Man United's name into it. That's the best part.
This is where you're smart. Me and Mon said this, so because you don't chuck the name in, that you're fine.
But the fact
I'm intrigued. Why do you, Cass? Because this must be a conversation I haven't heard before. Why do United hold the keys on that one?
That's what I was going to ask.
No, because see Sir Jim Ratcliffe, let's say it is going to be him, or let's say it is going to be Qatar. It's all up in the air at the moment, right? As far as everybody knows. he owns Nice. Thuram is under Nice. He's the most prized asset, right? And if he is he is to fail,
owns them. Okay, got you.
yeah. So if he is to fail, he's going to be obviously, apparently, allegedly going to be throwing a lot of funds into Nice. So Thuram can't go because of the situation. Because right now, Nice are not doing no transfers either.
Man gave the bottle a slap and got the ketchup out.
The most you can do is probably personal terms, of course. But in terms of transfer fee, nothing's going to get agreed until this crap's done.
Personal terms are normally the easiest bit. Whenever I hear personal terms agree, I never get too excited anyway. It's normally the easiest bit to do.
He probably does want to go to you. Like, you lot have shown probably the most interest. I don't know about PSG. I know they're looking at him, but that's it.
What's going on here?
Well, what's Fabrizio?
Thuram wants to come Liverpool. So did Jude, Ilias. Fucking hell, here we go.
Oh,
everyone wants to go Liverpool, innit?
We got India.
So,
everyone wants to go Liverpool.
Italian
It's the minute they're linked. But I think out of all everyone we're linked with, I think Thuram does seem the most likely.
No,
anyone else, it just noise at this point.
I just love the whole he wants to come. It's always he wants to come Liverpool.
About that.
Everyone
he's not talking about that.
Liverpool.
So the Italian himself, Fabrizio, is like literally said Inter have not received a formal approach or bid for Barella. Newcastle have genuine interest as Telegraph's called, but nothing is advanced in season. They said 50 million is nowhere near his valuation either.
Yeah, which is what I assumed anyway.
So basically, we can actually all say now, if you ever see anything, what's his name?
The Telegraph person.
Wait, no,
it was Mike McGrath with Luke Edwards.
So Mike McGrath and Edwards, anything if outside of England, like players are in England, garbage now. That's an L.
Why would anybody write a report like this without having anything concrete, where every single outlet just denied it? It didn't happen. It's ridiculous.
I just saw 50 million next to Barella's name and just knew it was just BS. That it would have to be much higher than that if they even considered.
It's ridiculous. I didn't understand why would the Telegraph, which is supposed to be a
that's why exactly. I don't know why they said that. So that's weird. I think. Like,
no, I was
they aren't the Sun or anything. The Telegraph, as far as I know.
Yeah.
I was reading something about it now. Don't you have, if you refinance, you can sell your assets at a higher price, but if you don't refinance in your club,
no, because the money we got from the Champions League was not accounted for.
Oh.
Yeah.
We thought we were gonna exit from the group stage, bro.
Have you seen I've seen Sky Germany along the lines that Man United are interested in held talks with Leeds defender, Leeds out of all teams, by the way.
Robin.
Koch. We're gonna call him Koch because
Koch.
I always think, like, why do they call the child like Robin? Like,
but also before we move to Man United, is the Tyler Adams links to Liverpool?
Yeah, fresh links come out today. Is
that the level the Liverpool want to go to? Tyler Adams is a good player. Is that the level? Like, people are talking about Rice, Caicedo, Kovacic.
Tyler Adams don't move me like.
And then Tyler Adams. This is what I don't understand about Liverpool fans. They get excited about like Tyler Adams. Oh my God, he's energetic. People are talking about Rice, Barellas, and you guys are like Tyler Adams. You're like, oh my God, is this the level? No, seriously,
it is, and it's sad, but it is, because it's the cliche thing, Mo. Yeah, he's a workhorse, clock midfield, whatnot. But if we want to compete again, we need to be aiming higher. But again, he will suit into what we're doing, like a Dr. War, honestly. But I don't personally want Tyler Adams. But I've seen it everywhere today. He always plays well against us when he's played for Leeds. He closed down quite quick.
I like him. He's my countryman. I can say that he's my countryman now.
Yeah,
I like him.
Our fans are going to load it up.
God, so you have to back Pulisic and everything more now. Like,
that's cool, Pulisic.
Yeah. What about McKennie?
I'm afraid
McKennie.
I like McKennie more than Tyler Adams.
No way. McKennie's arse.
He wasn't
he's better than Adams.
He wasn't. For some reason, maybe in the Prem, he was absolutely garbage at Leeds.
Highland is much better than my man. Much better. McKennie is
completely different.
By
the way, McKennie at Juventus played really advanced, guys. Like, he used to be the guy that makes late run to the 18, score goals. Anyway, Tyler Adams to Liverpool. Is that real?
If you done that,
Are you going to be happy with that? Are you going to be happy with that?
I won't be happy with that. And another player that's been touted as well, Mo. I think you touched on it a couple of days ago, Ward Prowse. Now,
do you remember, guys, stop. Do you remember Daps when he said, if McAllister is your marquee signing and you're going to go sign like players next to them, what are we talking about here? If 35 million.
No, hold on. I don't think. No,
Did
I
we
didn't
say?
say.
We
No,
did we
you
talk
said
about this?
that.
I
You
did.
said that.
I remember you said that.
No,
Really?
you said
Maybe
that.
I said
you
that.
said
Okay.
that. It was on the call-in show, and it was
Okay.
it was to a young lad that you were absolutely cooking, and I almost felt a little bit awkward of how much you were cooking him.
No, because he gave. I think the guy, like I think I was in that call. People are
He
coming
was
with
saying
mad things.
they're out here for world class for world class. He was saying that he thinks if Liverpool will challenge next season, because if they get world class midfielders, they'll challenge again. And then he listed McAllister, Kone, and
Thuram and somebody.
Thuram. That was it.
All three of them aren't world class already.
And then Mo, you were like, so are you telling me that they're your 3 world-class midfielders that are going to put you? And I said, that's a valid point. Now, they're players that might have a high ceiling, but we can't be calling them. Maybe McAllister we could.
James Ward-Prowse. How about that midfield?
No, even McAllister.
Tyler Adams and McAllister. Where's that? Where's that finish?
McAllister all day long, yeah.
No. That's 3.
No, I know.
Tyler Adams, defensive midfielder. Tyler Adams, defensive midfielder.
That midfield,
Ward-Prowse and McAllister. Where does that rank in the top 6?
No, it's ranked. It's ranked in the top.
I think that's even worse than Spurs. I think that's even worse than Spurs.
You said it spot on. It's rank in the top 6 now in this country. Rank.
That's the thing is if I don't know who that young caller was, but you have to get real. We're not going as long as we have FSG and Klopp as an enabler, we're not going to spend on all these lucrative names that we want. And all them 3 players, Kone, Thuram and McAllister, good players like Daps said, high ceiling, but none of them are world class. Even McAllister, you just said that maybe you can have a debate, but just because he's got a World Cup under his belt, I still wouldn't give him world class just yet.
No, but the one with him
is what does James Ward-Prowse actually do other than set pieces? Like, can someone just
I said he's a poor man. I said he's a poor man's Bruno Fernandes.
No,
I said he's a poor man's Bruno.
I actually think Ward-Prowse is not as bad as people think. I think
he's an Everton player. He's a
I agree. He might play for Aston Villa and be okay. Might play for Crystal Palace. He's not Liverpool level.
One thing I will say though,
Spurs level
for a good price between 20-30 million for a squad player, I'll sign him. But if you're telling me we're signing him to start, no way.
That's not even an upgrade. It's like James Ward.
Remember, you have Thiago.
It's an upgrade on Hendo.
It's an upgrade on Adams. It's not an upgrade to like Oxlade-Chamberlain and Milner and that. It's just not.
Is that an upgrade on Fabrizio?
Hendo and he is. Kendall, he is.
Who? James Ward-Prowse?
Tyler Adams or Fabinho as a DM.
James Ward-Prowse is not a DM.
No. Tyler Adams or Fabinho as a DM.
Tyler Adams. Fabinho's done. It hurts me because I've got this guy for a long time. Fabinho's done. Say it again.
Henderson or Ward-Prowse.
Henderson.
No, because you know what it is. Like, have you seen Ward-Prowse off the ball? Like, has anyone actually watched him?
No, exactly. This is what I mean. What does he do?
He's a bypasser, bro.
No, but
he doesn't control a game. Like in possession, he does not control a game like at all. Like that's just not what type of footballer he is.
Do you know what it is? Off the ball, you're saying have you watched him off the ball as he stinks one? One thing I will say, he's quite ill-disciplined. I see him needing the spouse for no reason, but he's not as bad as you're making out off the ball. I don't want him at my club, but like I said, for 30 million max as a squad player, I'll take him. I would take him.
Lavia done the running for him.
And the other guy in there with him as well.
Actually, do you know what? That's gone quiet thinking about it.
Yeah, Lavia, I don't know what he's probably just waiting for
it.
Is he injured?
Nah,
but I think there's some things like do you know what? I honestly think like the Casado one that everyone wants to know where he's going.
Yeah.
And like there's sometimes one move that starts the ball rolling on all the other ones.
Like a domino effect, isn't it?
Yeah. I think Casado's a massive one because I think he's probably the one that a lot of teams would look at and go, yeah.
I think for some reason he ends up at United. I would hate for it to happen, but I think I said it ends up at United.
I think that's Ward-Prowse.
No.
A lot of people as well. A lot of teams are looking for midfielders this season. A lot of the teams who will be competing next year need midfielders. Man United need midfielders. Liverpool need midfielders.
I think everyone
everyone needs a midfielder this time. So it's gonna be like a domino. Rice. So teams will have probably really, really similar lists of targets.
Lavia to Brighton,
and they'll all be intermixed, and then obviously they'll just go from there. So
shout. That's a sick shout.
Lavia to Brighton, that
He's a
is
scout.
one that I would like. Like that one for me
That's a
there is
great
a
shout.
perfect step for Lavia to prove.
And then
Why
maybe
does everyone literally have the tongue in Brighton hoop? Someone
Why are you
explain
jealous?
to me.
Why are you jealous?
Why?
Why are you
I'm
jealous?
not jealous.
it used to be you, Kendall. It used to
No,
be
it
you.
used to be me. We were crap, so nobody even cared about
What
us.
did
They were
Kendall have
just
his tongue in?
like, who's that? Huh?
Shit.
He said because no, Rom said it used to be you. Like, what have you had your tongue in?
No. I mean, it used to be. It used,
More comments. So,
Huh?
no, don't laugh. Make me laugh. No, but
Nasty, man. Stuff that a lot, you know. Oh, nasty, man.
why are you thinking that?
That's Rom's fault, you know. That's
Oh
Rom's
my
fault.
anyways, no.
I said
But
Newcastle.
why is it, please? Because they are literally coming for your spots. So I don't understand why everyone loves them, because I don't.
Oh damn! Yeah, I don't know. I think Brighton is just a good step for anyone's progress at this current moment of time. They give a player like a season and a half or a season, and they just they flourish under the right manager.
What are you
But,
calling them? Stepping Stone FC.
I think Lavia would be a good fit for Newcastle as well. I'd be honest. I think that's a good stepping stone. You are a stepping stone club currently. If you're not at the top yet, but that's just the way it goes, man. I think Lavia would be, but Lavia just makes so much sense if Caicedo to leave, and they would have the money too to go get him if they needed to. And I don't think it will cost them 50 million. Everyone's taking the time with him, or nobody's actually sure if they want to go and get him. That's the way I'm looking at it. But Man United and Caicedo, I don't even know if I want to even keep that dance personally, but I think it's just Brian just trying to entice a bidding more potentially.
Sorry, can we just finish on one thing, Cass? A question for you. Do you worry that like the ownership thing is going to be sorted too late to impact you in the transfer window? Enough.
Well, you know what? The difference with Man United now compared to last season is they're getting rid of transfer targets, and they're ending interest quite quickly. Like the Kane thing, they said, "Nah, dead it." Usually, Man United will just chase that for as long. So, of course it will. Of course it will. But the board was never going to change. Compared to Chelsea, the board isn't changing, right? So on that note, it's going to have some sort of impact in one shape, way, or form, or another. But that's Glazers for you, right?
One last question for the panel, though. Do you actually think this Kane? I know it come out today that United have shut that down, but do you still think the Kane saga's done? Because I don't. I think player power is a big thing, and I think if he eventually pushes for that move,
he ain't got player power. No, he ain't got player power.
He ain't got no power. Daniel Levy is a stubborn bastard. And
I hear you, Rums. The player power's big, but not with him.
But you know what? If let's say he starts to, this isn't in Kane's nature, but let's just say hypothetically, he actually starts to ruffle feathers and he actually starts to unsettle the mood in the camp, and he said, "You know what? And didn't he do it before you signed up,
bro? Bro, the mad thing is that when last time Kane did that, Tottenham actually, they played better.
No, and the last time he
did, that's when Son scored all them goals.
When he was trying to leave and he didn't show up to training, then Tottenham came out and no, we actually let him be on holiday. Like, oh, shut up, man. Like,
Elias, Marcel, Heavy, TSA guys, stop spamming the chat. Let other people chat as well. You are absolutely taking it away from other people. Spamming the chat with that 115 numbers. You're absolutely not letting other people write their comments. Please stop that. We love you. We respect you. You guys are here supporting us. That is preventing other people.
No, I hear you, but you know what? As well, the other thing is, shouldn't anyone that's spamming 115, isn't it time you shouldn't you go to bed? You've probably got to represent someone in court tomorrow morning because you lot are clearly all solicitors and that. So just go to bed, man, because it's late for you. And you're also telling us all how rattled you are. You don't care about us. Stop talking about us, please. Don't care.
Don't care. But yeah, everything. I don't know what's gonna happen, man. Who knows? He just needs to hurry the hell up because it's just getting on my nerves. But it just needs to be in it. I think someone just needs to announce it one way or another. But there's not really much else going on in the world of football.
I think the one thing I would say is if you do. If it does happen quite late in the season, in the summer, I think what you'll find, right, if they were to buy you now or a couple of weeks ago and you got the right people in, then you'd have a very productive summer, getting the right targets. What I would say is that if the later they come in this summer, you'll probably get some massive signings. But
I think people are forgetting as well. There's an owners and directors test, so like it's not just
Yeah.
if you're bought, it's not as easy as saying like, right, Man United are bought on the 14th of June, 15th of June. It's new ownership. You've got an owners and directors test to go through as well, which typically on average takes about 6 weeks. So like I'm sure with Man United, with the lovely Golden Boys, it'll be done in one.
Jealous.
But I think that if you do get a last minute one, what'll happen is they'll come in and they'll throw big money at a couple of big name signings. Do you know what I mean?
When did the sale go through for Newcastle, Kendall? When did the sale go through for Newcastle?
Ours went through in 48 hours, but then the owners and directors, it was when the piracy thing was sorted with Qatar. Ours went through in 48 hours, but the owners and directors test took a little bit longer after that. So
it's not that hard.
It was a couple of weeks. But ours was going out. Yeah, but ours was literally going on for a year and a half. So most of the tests were done in that 18 months. It just kind of had to be like signed off when we took over. So ours was a little bit different. So because they pulled out of the deal and then came back in when the whole piracy thing was sorted. So ours is a little bit different, but it does on average take about 6 weeks, the owners and directors test. But as I said, Man United's it'll be sailed through within a few days, I'm sure.
So last thing, super chatting from Andy, and he's saying, I made a bet with my friend who's dropping points to Luton away first. My money is on United or Spurs. Big up Daps and Cass. And my
why not Chelsea?
Day one, Kendall.
I think if you're betting, man, just do Spurs. You can't really go on with that.
We'll see how it is. But anything else?
Can I just say one thing? I don't know if he's still here, but if Red John's in the chat, please make sure you reach out to me. As I said, on Instagram or Twitter, MCFC Daps. But please reach out to me if you're still in the chat. That's it for me
today and tomorrow.
Everyone sleep well. It feels to be getting hot tonight. Does anyone else got that?
Yeah.
It feels to be getting hot
afternoon. Tomorrow
man,
afternoon.
It's like Qatari weather right now, man.
Tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow. Well, after 1 o'clock, Cass will be live probably.
More than likely.
And then tomorrow evening, I'm sure we will be again at some point. And then Roms and Kendall, we will see you on Saturday at the barbecue.
You absolutely will. You definitely will. I'm just need to know who's on the aux, like who's on the DJ situation because
so there's two. So I'll probably be on it slightly, but then also anyone in the chat that supports City will probably know him. Geordie Pordy, who's part of City Extra. It's him and Lewis that do City Extra. He's coming down from Manchester and he DJs, so he's going to DJ a bit as well. I think he plays house more, though, but we'll see. But yeah, there'll be an aux there if you need it, Kendall, so you can DJ.
Don't ever do that in your life ever again, Mo.
What did he do? Did he just do this?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's like house.
Don't ever do that again.
On that note,
yeah.
See you guys.